Which REIT is the best place to invest in real estate? REITs stand for Real Estate Investment Trusts. They're basically publicly traded real estate companies that own a bunch of rental properties that generate income. They take care of all the buying, selling, marketing, tenants, rents, and so forth. You can be a part owner of that company by buying their shares in your brokerage account. It's basically the easiest way you can invest in real estate. Each REIT specializes in different real estate properties. There are REITs that only buy residential properties. There are others who buy shopping centers, malls, and even warehouses. But which is a better investment for you? Which REIT should you invest in? We're going to look at two factors, the stock growth and the dividend the REITs pay out. There are REITs that specialize in different types of properties: healthcare facilities, hotels, industrial, offices, residential, and retail. And we will compare that with a REIT that is diversified. There are many more types of property categories, but we'll stick with the most obvious ones I've listed. To be fair, we'll only look at two of the most valuable REITs in each category, which means the two largest market caps. Let's get started on which REIT is the better investment. Number 1, diversified. VICI Properties is worth $33.5 billion, and WP Carey is worth about $18.1 billion as I'm making this video. VICI has risen 90% in the past 5 years with a dividend yield of 4.19%. WP Carey has risen 25% the past 5 years with a dividend yield of 4.89%. If you averaged them both, you'd get a rise of 57% over the past 5 years and a 4.54% dividend. Those numbers will be our base constant as we compare the other REITs. Number 2 is healthcare REITs. Welltower worth $36.7 billion and Ventas worth $19.6 billion. Welltower has risen 7% in the past 5 years with a dividend yield of 3.09%. Ventas has fallen 28% in the past 5 years with a dividend yield of 3.67%. If you average them both, you'd get a rise of 17% over the past 5 years and a 3.38% dividend. Number 3, hotel REITs. Host Hotels and Resorts worth $14.2 billion and Ryman Hospitality worth $5.2 billion. Host has risen 5% the past 5 years with a dividend yield of 2.51%. Ryman has risen 51% the past 5 years with no dividends. If you average them both, you'd get a rise of 28% over the past 5 years and a 1.25% dividend. Number 4, industrial REITs. Prologis worth $100 billion and Public Storage worth $61 billion. Prologis has risen 108% the last 5 years with a dividend yield of 2.38%. Public Storage has risen 70% the past 5 years with a dividend yield of 2.28%. If you average them both, you'd get a rise of 89% over the past 5 years and a 2.33% dividend. Number 5, office REITs. Digital Realty Trust worth $37.1 billion and Alexandria Realty Equities worth $26.8 billion. Digital has risen 9% the past 5 years with a dividend yield of 3.8%. Alexandria has risen 33% in the past 5 years with a dividend yield of 2.91%. If you average them both, you get a rise of 21% over the past 5 years with a 3.35% dividend. Number 6, residential REITs. Avalon Bay Communities worth $30 billion and Equity Residential worth $29.4 billion. Avalon Bay has risen 7% in the past 5 years with a dividend yield of 0.46%. Equity has risen 15% in the past 5 years with a dividend yield of 3.22%. If you average them both, you get a rise of 11.56% over the past 5 years and a 1.84% dividend. And number 7 is retail REITs. Realty Income Group worth $43.9 billion and Simon Property Group worth $36.1 billion. Realty Income has risen 26% the past 5 years with a dividend yield of 4.18%. Simon has fallen 31% the past 5 years with a dividend yield of 6.47%. If you average them out, you get a drop of negative 2.41% over the past 5 years and a 5.32% dividend. Of course, this is how well each REIT has done in the past, which doesn't mean it'll continue doing the same in the future. We're basically just looking at which REIT has performed the best so far. Let's rank them, shall we? In 7th place are realty REITs because even though the average dividend is the highest, the stock didn't appreciate at all. In 6th place are residential REITs, in 5th place are hospital REITs, in 4th place are hotel REITs, in 3rd place are office REITs. So that leaves us with the top 2 REITs, diversified and industrial. Let's say you invest $10,000 in each of these REITs, which would be a better investment? For diversified, you'd have $15,700 in stocks and about $2,500 in dividends over the years, totaling $18,000. For industrial, you'd have $18,900 in stocks and about $1,500 in dividends over the years, totaling $20,000. In 2nd place are diversified REITs. In 1st place are industrial REITs. For historical purpose, if you're looking to invest in REITs, your best bet would be to invest in industrial REITs. So what are your thoughts? Do you invest in any REITs at all? Comment below. And as always, take care of your money.